Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, who've liked, who've commented, who've shared. I really appreciate it. And those of you who haven't subscribed, do the right thing, please. Do the right thing, okay? Well guys, as you can see by the title of the video, today we're going to be talking about how you can love yourself in a way that no one else can. I think it's very important to give ourselves love, to appreciate ourselves, to appreciate the things that we have, especially because right now it's the mental health month, and it's a lot of things that affect us, to get into a state of not appreciating ourselves and not loving ourselves. In the end, we end up having mental breakdowns. And just a disclaimer, obviously I'm not a doctor, I'm not specialized to help anyone with mental issues, but these are some of the things that I feel like, if we apply them in our lives and if we do them in a way that is consistent, that we'll be able to better ourselves, we'll be able to have better opportunities, we'll be able to appreciate a lot of things about ourselves. Obviously it's a process, hence you see that I wrote steps to loving yourself, because obviously not all of us are in the same position, or not all of us are at a point where we are feeling like, oh my gosh, I can wake up in the morning, feel excited, look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh, I love everything about myself, I love everything that's happening in my life. A lot of us deal with problems and challenges in different ways. So these are just some of the things that could help us to become better and to, just get out of that state. Is steps to becoming, what we are meant to become. So one of the things that I have seen work for me personally as well is that we need to believe that we are, not that we're not, okay? And that's a very important and very critical thing for us to always remember, that it's very easy for us to always be like, I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not intelligent enough. You tell yourself that it's not going to be me, it's not going to be possible, I cannot get to that position, I won't be successful. We are always so critical of ourselves that we believe that we are not, we're not special, we're not great. So we always have to believe that I am special, I am perfect, not perfect in a sense that you don't make mistakes, but you are perfect the way you are. God did not make a mistake in making you the way you are. There's nothing wrong with you. You have so much to offer. There's only one you in the whole world. There's no one else who can replace you. There's no one else who can take a position. There's no one else who can make other people laugh as much as you make other people laugh. You have that unique thing that can make a difference in your family's life, in your friend's life, and in everyone really who's around you in the society. So we need to believe, look at yourself in the mirror and believe that I am. Why not me? Why not me? Why can I not be special? Why can I not be beautiful? Why can I not be good enough? What makes you think that you're not capable? Because we are obviously have different characteristics, we're different people, we have different paths, we're never going to have the same things in life, but you need to understand that from within you, from your heart, that you are a child of God, and because you are a child of God, you have something special about you. And it would be very insulting to say that the way I look is so terrible, and I am trash basically, because God doesn't make trash. This is something that I learned a while back, that God doesn't make trash. It's very, very important to believe that you are special, believe that you are intelligent, believe that you are beautiful, believe that everything that you have is for a purpose, everything that you have is for a reason, that there's nothing wrong with you. Even with the challenges, even if you cannot overcome things easily, believe that you are going to get through those things. You are going to be able to overcome those challenges. So I think that's something that we always dwell on, that I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not that, and it affects us. It affects our mental being, it affects our esteem, it affects our confidence, and in the end becomes very difficult to now rise up from something like that. Another thing that I've also realized is comparison. Don't compare yourself either to make yourself feel better or to feel worse, because I've seen this a lot of the times, that sometimes we compare ourselves with people to make ourselves better, and then I'd be saying, at least I'm better than so and so because I can do this better. You're comparing yourself, and in the grand scheme of things you think that, oh, I'm better than that person, but actually you're comparing yourself, and that is affecting you in some way that you cannot see. You are more inclined to also compare yourself with somebody else's strength, because now you're comparing your strength with somebody else's weakness. So I think we should never compare ourselves for the better or for the worse, because if you compare yourself with someone and say, this person is so much greater, they're so much smart, they have so much in life, they're coming from a great family, they have so much great opportunities. I've been struggling for many years, can't get a job, I cannot be successful, I've graduated from university and nothing seems to be working, my family is not supportive, or my friends, I'm not as cool as my friends, or there's so many things that we're dealing with in life, or I'm not okay with my body, all these type of things that we compare ourselves with. And that's something that we always need to remember, that we compare ourselves always, especially for the bad or for the worse. We always compare ourselves with someone else's greatest attribute, with someone else's greatest strength, and you're using your weakest to compare yourself. So it's not really a good idea to compare yourself, because it's going to end up putting you again in a state that is not okay for you mentally. You feel worthless because you feel like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not good enough. There are other people who are doing so many great things out there. People of my age, are successful. They're at a place where they've settled down, they've done everything, they've experienced, they've traveled, they've experienced anything that a person can wish to experience, and you start beating yourself up and just feeling like, my life is basically just, there's no point in me living, there's no point in me continuing to try, because what's the point, because I'm way behind, and I don't even think I will ever get to a point where they are. So it really affects you in a way that sometimes we take for granted. We think that you compare yourself sometimes in an innocent way, just thinking like, wow, my friends are doing great things, and now I'm still in the same position, I'm not doing anything great. You compare yourself in a very, you don't think about it consciously, like thinking that, oh, I'm comparing myself. It just happens. But I think we need to be very self-aware of what we do, what we say, just to take care of ourselves, just to make sure that we are in a good place, that we are flourishing, instead of going into the pit and getting into that state that is not okay for us. Another thing that's very, very important is to find out your purpose and live it. once you found out what is it that you are meant to do with your life, that you are meant to accomplish in your life, focus on that. Once you know your purpose, once you know what is it that you're meant to do, once you find out what is it that you are gifted with, your talents, use those talents, those gifts to live your purpose and to become the person that you're meant to become. Finding out your purpose is a very long process for other people, and for most people actually, but when you do find your purpose, when you understand why are you here, why were you born, what's the purpose of you living in this life, why do you need to be doing certain things, why do you need to be changing certain things with your life? Doesn't matter what people are saying, it won't affect you in any way, because you know your purpose, you know your path, your path is very clear, you know what you are intended to do with your life. There will be challenges in that path, there will be things that discourage you, but those things, they will teach you how to appreciate, once you have accomplished your purpose, once you have become what you're meant to become, you will appreciate it much more. I think, and it's not easy to be able to not look at other people and not look at the expectations that are there around society, around when you are this age you should have had your own house, your own car, your own whatever. When you have graduated right now, you should be having a job, you should be living your best life, but it's not. When we're being realistic, it's not really like that. It takes time. Sometimes things in your life will take forever to come, and you will be feeling like, why is my life not what I want it to be? But it really is very, very important to just understand what you're meant to become. What is it that you are supposed to be in life? I think if you know that, it becomes very, very easy for you, or lighter, so to speak, for you to carry on in your own lane rather than look at other people's lanes. Because if you can think about it, when people are running in a race, Bokasta Semea and all, I don't think they pay attention to another person who's on another lane. They're paying attention to the goal. They are paying attention to the finish line. So I think once you know your purpose, once you know your path, once you know what is it that you're supposed to accomplish in your life, you're going to be now focusing on how you can get there, how you can get to the finish line, instead of focusing on another person who's in a different lane. I think this goes hand in hand with comparing yourself. So once you found your purpose, you live it, and you live it to the fullest, and you appreciate everything that you have gone through, because at the end of the day, it makes you stronger. It makes you the person that you become. It makes you somebody even extra special, because you were already special, but now you become even extra special, extraordinary. So that's something that is very, very important for us to remember when we are going through different types of challenges in life. The last thing that I've heard from Will Smith, and he was talking about how self-love is self-discipline. So a lot of the times we like shortcuts in life. You have a problem with something, but it's very difficult for you to change that thing. But I think that's where self-discipline comes in. If you want something in your life, you need to sacrifice, you need to put in the work, you need to take certain steps to help you to be able to get to a certain point. So if it's the same with loving yourself. If you feel like there are certain things that you want to change in your life, in order to appreciate yourself more, in order to appreciate who you are better, you need to be able to be disciplined and take certain steps to be able to get to a point where you want to get. Like sometimes being disciplined is very difficult, obviously. It's not an easy thing to do, but you need to put your mind into it and say, if I'm not okay with the way I look, for instance, I'm not okay with the way I look, I'm going to change it. you know, I'm going to change the way I look, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat certain foods that will help me to become, you know, the way I want to become. And you should always do that for yourself, not for people, because if you do it for yourself, it has much more of a greater result and much more of a greater depth and strengthening within you, that makes you such a great being at the end of the day, that, you know, you'd be able to even advise people at the end and say, you know, for me, this has worked for me, and I was doing it for 1 and 2 and 3 reasons. So once you get to a point where now you feel like, you know, I'm at a point where I can see that I'm becoming really broke, you know, I'm mentally, you know, and physically broke, I can't cope anymore. You know, I think you have to be disciplined in a sense that you have to do certain things to help you to come out of that situation. And once you have that love for yourself, you have that appreciation for yourself, you will be able to love other people. And once you love other people, you become in a very environment that's very conducive for you. You know, when you're around love, you're loved by your family, you're loved by your friends, you even understand your worth even more, because you love yourself and you have love for other people, and there's just love revolving around all of you. And that creates such a beautiful environment, that creates an environment that you want to be in, you know. And it just reminds me of my favorite scripture. I'm just gonna read for you guys. And this scripture says, let thy bowels be full of charity towards all men, and to the household of faith, and let virtue garnish thy thoughts unceasingly. Then shall thy confidence wax strong in the presence of God. This is like one of my favorite scriptures, because it's just telling you that if you love people, you'll be able to love. If you love all men, your confidence will wax strong in the presence of God. So it won't matter what other people are saying. It won't matter, you know, what other people are accomplishing. It won't matter. Anything that is external, everything is going to be internal. It's going to be between you and God, and you're going to appreciate your worth even more and know your worth. Your confidence is going to work strong, and other people are going to see that, reflect on them. You're going to become that light in front of other people, because you understand your purpose. You believe that you are, and you understand your purpose, and you're living your purpose, and you are doing what makes you happy. I think being happy is very, very important. Finding that happiness, and you cannot get a happiness from things that are temporal. From my personal opinion, you cannot get happiness from things that are temporal. Happiness comes from a bigger source than that, and I think that is what can help us to take care of ourselves, you know, to appreciate ourselves, to appreciate what God has really given us as people, you know. And we will fight this, you know, mental issues that we have. We'll fight becoming, you know, things that we're not meant to become, you know. But those are just some of my thoughts, guys. I really hope that they affect you in some way, they help you in some way, and they inspire you to do better, to be better, to try harder, you know, and do something about, you know, the situation that you might be going through, the challenge that you might be going through. Because, you know, the fact is, all of us are going through challenges, but some of us handle it better, some of us can't handle it better. And the most important thing is that we always need to seek help, whether it be from friends, family, and professional help, because that's very, very important. We need to seek professional help. If you're going through things that you cannot take anymore, you need to be taking the necessary steps to help you to overcome that thing. Because you have to be in a good place. You have to feel like life is worth it. You have to appreciate the goodness that is out there. You know, there's a lot of bad things out there, but you need to get to a point where you appreciate the good that is out there, the good that is in you, and you're not just picking out, you know, negative things about you, and, you know, picking out things that are not good about your life or you personally. So I really hope, guys, that this has, you know, inspired you, helped you to be what you're meant to be. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, and if you have any question, comment on the section below. And if you have any more other things that you think are important in loving yourself, in learning how to love yourself, steps that you can take, just share in this section below, and let's you know, help people out there. You know, even if it's one person who can, you know, hear something or read your comment or see, you know, this video, it doesn't matter, because that one person is probably the person who's meant to be able to have that change in their lives. So please, guys, like, share, comment this video, so that, you know, other people can, you know how to handle the challenges that they're experiencing on a day-to-day life. You know, it's all of us, we're on a journey. It's a process. You know, sometimes you are such in a good place, sometimes you're in a very bad place, but at the end of the day, it's what helps us to end up becoming, you know, the best that we can become. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning into my channel, and for subscribing, and for the love, and for the support. I really appreciate it. See you guys next time.